the answers to the questions. People have people have an abundance of questions. And like I said, they be wanting to know, but they don't be believing the answer. They do not believe the answer. That's how you can know. That's how you can know how programmed people still are. They ask for questions, the answer be right in their face. There's a lot of chosen ones right now screaming the same thing. Some for different purposes, but kind of all sounds the same. For us, we got to just keep listening to what they putting down for us to pick up. See? And that means they have all these questions, right? Which means they're searching for knowledge. And then we provide what's hidden. And they dispute the answer. The emperor of the world. Who runs the world? That's pretty much what people are trying to figure out, it sounds like. Who runs the world? And if it's God, how does he run it? So we're going to study what we have been studying forever, that even the greatest of greats have gone to school for and have not been able to put words to. Doesn't that kind of sound like the Alpha and the Omega? Supreme mathematics don't go by the same set of doesn't go by the same rules that apply to adding up simple numbers. Alpha and Omega, two opposites. 0, even more powerful than what? The biggest and the smallest. 0 is not 0. 0 is mastery. You know what's crazy? It's getting real to me. Maybe I really am who I say I am. And then, do you want to test that? I want to test my own theory. See how the hermit is like one single solitary person? In this energy, Earth angels, God said that he sent us in to be the guides, right? Because people have questions. We have the answers. So people are on a search. Everybody is searching for knowledge. Everybody is searching for the truth of the unknown. So everybody's coming to who? The light is being shined on who? Who is the light being shined on? I'm just saying. Who are the greats that have all these questions? And who are the greats that are no longer here? Now, who is the great that has all the gifts to answer all the questions that could be asked if asked? Now, who is a gatekeeper? What is a gatekeeper? What does the term gatekeeper actually mean? Where does it come from? Okay. Who runs the world? Okay. So, is God man? So is the emperor a man? Could be. No one can prove the theory that God is a man. He's masculine, but I'm a woman. I have masculine in me. So how does God operate? for his world, which is his queen. See? So who has the true answers to what can't be seen? Who else have you ever heard explain it this way? So when people are trying to figure out all these theories of the unknown, first we must know that's what a gatekeeper is here for. You can't go to everybody for this type of knowledge, or everybody would have it. Everybody's not a high priestess. Everybody can't see everything. Even I can't see everything. But if the world is asking God a question, I know I can get the answer. Just like this. Simply putting it. 1 + 1 is 2. See, to me, this is simple math. That these guys out here come and gone, still trying to figure out. And then the medium, who sits right here alive and has been channeling this energy. Now I'm knowing why I'm picking up so heavy on the things I'm picking up on. Because they need a gatekeeper. You know why? Because people are accessing things that they're not ready to live with. That's why they say knowledge in the right hands is powerful, but in the wrong hands, detrimental. This is God's world. You know the gatekeeper? Why she is so protected? Because the gatekeeper knows exactly what needs to be shown and revealed in the world at what time. Then here comes the concept of the earth angel, a person who connects with God of this world. Because my intuition says, based on what I'm seeing in the world needs God in it. So the one with the connection to God goes to God and says, God, can you guide me in the ways in which to show the people how you exist? Because as per your Bible, you say you do this, you do that, you show to this, you show to that. Can you show me the best method to teach what the collective needs? And then God sits here and says, my child, you have a journey ahead of you. One that will isolate you, one that will make you live in solitude, one that will have you tap out of the 3D while remaining in it. One that will make you be an anchor in 2 worlds. All the time, anytime. And this is why I'm the guide. The world called God. God called those who are willing to be guided. And then he sends the ones that receive the guidance and show them, and also show them how to see God, how to know it's God, and how to trust the theory. Because only certain celestial, meaning otherworldly beings, can have access to anything that is outside of this world, unless God says so. Because that's why there's a wreath here. It's for the world's protection. It's for the world's protection. You know why? Because we talk about a healthy fear of God. And that is to protect people from thinking they can question that theory and be above him. How do you basis? How can you be above that which created you? So if I didn't create you, how are you above me? So we're really all equal. And then you have these people out here that want to test the theory of who I am. And then I show them. See? The world needs to understand. So I ask God, show me. And he guides me. And I come back and I'm guided to show you. That's the Trinity. There's no magic. That's God talking to his trusted confidant. about the best thing that should happen for this world to move it forward. That's why we're on the journey of evolution, going from the old ways, hermit, to the new ones, the empress, the old, the hermit, the wise, the been here before, the one with all the knowledge, because it gets passed down to believers. And then it gets passed down through the women. Why is that? The ones with the wombs. Because they're the only ones that can birth. So what we do is everything. And the realest of us understand that's why this is futile, because it doesn't matter. We're thinking about this, the macro. They want to think about the micro, themselves, and causing conflict where it doesn't belong. So the world is coming out of a conflicting state. You know why? Because they're tapping into themselves more. And all that means is when they hear things like, I feel called to, they just go with it. That's the call to action. Being called to do something is God's call to his chosen soul's existence. We're not chosen by man. We are, because they pray to God. And the ones that don't know how to hear his answer, that's why we're here. In the shadows, waiting to be used for the purpose that we were born here for. The world is trying to figure some things out that are off limits. Some things are forbidden. Some theories shouldn't be tested. And God is one of them, because there is a mighty wrath and a fury for not just believing and understanding what you're being given. Some things are literally quite dangerous in this space. Some things are meant to not be understood for safety. Because if you understand a thing, you can manipulate a thing. And you see where this world is with this worldly thinking. So it seems as if God is calling judgment on the world. Quite frankly. Oh, shit. Literally. So I guess all the answers that everybody needs are going to come out soon. Because everybody want to gatekeep. But they haven't been given approval. They haven't been called to do it. They just feel they have the right to. And that's the difference. Power games, power struggle, egos, when no one knows. That's what God said. So God told people something. And ever since these people that were told this thing said this thing at a certain time, ever since then, a certain group of people has been under watch. Because this has been being experimented long before us. But there's so many of us. Now they have to get to the bottom of it. Sometimes you just got to leave well enough alone. Because I'm too calm right now. And that means something. If I'm calm, God's working. And he's literally coming out and saying something with his world. You know, the one that everything in it is built on? You know, one nation under God. Not one nation under God, but divided, trying to figure out God. It's not what it says. So now we're becoming a country that has no faith. Now we're becoming a country that questions the very thing it was built upon. So do you guys understand why God is saying it's time for the new world? And why we're here? God sees his world is not, moving in the way of the will of the will. Pretty much. The will of God. So the people that God has called to know him are the ones that protect his name by speaking out against the false prophets. I'm not going to stamp nothing that I don't approve of. And so this is why I get so upset. because my connection with God is very, very real. And I myself know that I can, but don't even try to test how I know what the fuck I know in totality. I say it all the time, but I don't clearly know the answer. And even this could be wrong, but it's never felt so right. So maybe there is only one, high priestess. I don't know what the fuck this is. That's why we're the gatekeeper. Well, that's why I'm a gatekeeper. I can't speak for nobody else. Everybody be letting everybody in the wrong doors. But with the world God, and I asked, what does it mean to have a healthy fear of God? You would have to have a lived experience to understand and really understand. You understand what the fear is. It's real. The things that people have done to me spiritually, right? I sit back and I say, okay, before all of what people don't know about me, most of the basis of my knowledge, I was taught a long time ago. The basis of my spirituality is nothing new. I'm not learning nothing new about the fundamentals. I'm learning new about my gifts, along with the fundamentals. So that's a different situation. But when I think about this gatekeeping energy, and whoever the fuck is trying to block the gatekeeper, but then still need the answers, you won't be allowed entry to get them. Because the one that is here to give them to you, you're trying to silence. So what you want is not what you want. Now God wants to know what do you really want and for what purpose. See? And it kind of sounds like all those times I said these motherfuckers is stealing my messages, chopping up the most important pieces, leaving gaps in the fucking shit. I know what I said, and I know it's not there. And I wonder why. What are they doing with that little clip of information that I know myself was important to give? Because I know I wouldn't have just said it if it wasn't. So then I start to keep thinking. Like I've always said, with me, I don't know what to speak on if you don't ask the question. I'm not giving no more than what's necessary. Not when it comes to these matters. This is the real side of this. This is why they call it the dark side. Because it doesn't need to be known. This is about as much in the light of the dark side of what I'm into, you're going to have access to. Because I'm not going to take you through there. You know why? Because it says gated. Gatekeeper. Not gate holder, not gate opener. It says gatekeeper. That means there is one who stands at the gate. The realm. The entrance and exit point between God and man. So there is one that knows God's secrets. And God has a lot of secrets. And that's why this person has a heavy crown. And that's why this person has the seal and the wreath and all of the energies and forces of the world that God created that support it and protect it. So there will always be a person, an animal, in one plane of existence that protects this. Why do you think that is? Well, because when we talk about sacrificing people, what do they usually use? Animals, right? What does God hate? A false prophet. So one professing to want knowledge, but to want knowledge to use it for harm. Why else would you try to gatekeep the gatekeeper if you didn't want to move them out their spot? Thank you. And why would they be easily moved out their spot if they're protected by the same very world that's trying to unprotect them? Doesn't make sense, right? The world is a very expansive card. It's not just the completion of a cycle. It's the completion of the earth realm experience where you got to question something outside of you. Because clearly, if I know God is within me, He's not outside of me. So am I God? Who am I to have the same power as God, but not be God? Who do I call myself to be then? Is God human? Can God be seen? You can see me, but you don't see the God in me. And this is why I'm a gatekeeper. Because I understand all those things. I'm not going to explain them. So when I have someone that's on a path of knowledge to find out what I know, my spidey senses go off and I can feel something coming. And as you saw what I posted, you see why I feel what's coming? You see the very same person who's trying to block the gatekeeper, blocking the gatekeeper by all the ways in which God said the sorcerers would do. And now I come bearing the truth because I come with God. Anything attached to me comes with God. And anything that attached to me that goes against God goes against me. And if God is for me, why should it matter who's against me? Is that pride or is that gospel? That everybody speak out their mouth, but don't really live like that. So who's the false prophet, me or them? See, I walk in a certain way where you can compare me up next to that book that y'all preach about and read about. I know what supreme law is. I know what supreme mathematics is. And all it is everything goes up to the supreme. So in order to get certain knowledge, you got to rise to the occasion. You can't just be a commoner with no purpose, knocking on the high priestess door, looking for service. Oh, God, what are you saying? They're going to start having to pay you for your knowledge, or you won't give no more. You've shown enough of who I am and what I'm capable of. And that's the thing. You know what's crazy? Sometimes I feel like, damn, when I read the Bible, like, that shit is talking to me. Every experience is in that book. Not on purpose. I don't know how this works. Why me? Why you, chosen one? But I do know that we're here for a reason. And we are given a certain responsibility to uphold. That's why we go through so much rigorous testing of all the theories that book holds. So we've been already put up against every test that the Most High could give us. So Most High deems us responsible enough to hold a title where we can be responsible enough to see what our responsibility actually is. So for those who be fishing and saying, oh, you don't know it because you can't say exactly. No. No, you're good. No. No, you're fine. See? Some answers are just no. No questions asked. And that's God. But he keeps saying no in the form of making threats of judgment. And people aren't hearing. It seems the more we scream judgment, the more people go crazy. So is that the work of the sorcerer? Or is that people's right mind? Either way, we're living in some scary times. I'm not. But the world of people who believe the wrong things are. So what happens when judgment comes, like in the Bible, and God says something is forbidden, and people don't listen? Thank you. What does he do? He brings a terrible, terrible disaster to it. Yeah? So there's a disaster on the way because God also said the other day changing of the guards for the changing of the times. And I remember I said, why can't we get all these old people who live in the old world, the non-progressive one, the one that we're not in, out the way? They're trying to get us out the way for progressing forward. And I mean, that's clearly why we were called here. That's why we're not called by man. You don't make us move. We don't come and talk because you want us to. We say what needs to be said. Things a lot of times the world don't like to hear. but that's God. So when people are looking for truth, you got to know who holds it. You also got to know who's responsible enough to give it to you. Because this is not just out here reading tarot cards. God sent us to do something. And if you can't see what that is yet, judgment. You know? I mean, it seems quite simple. And I know if I'm this calm, because y'all have seen me lately, and he's still been moving. But this is a different type of peace that surpasses all understanding. Because I know where I am. I know who I am. I know what I was told. That specific thing right there let me know that I was a true gatekeeper. And it's how I rock out. Information in the right hand is powerful. It can change a whole nation. But only if they're willing to listen. And then information, that same information, in the wrong hands can be catastrophically catastrophic. Because it's in the wrong hands now. Somebody knows something they don't need to know. Which means that they can misuse and abuse the truth. And the truth has always been absolute. The truth created us. The truth created us. And you know what's crazy? I'm a life path 22-4. The world has never seen. Because this is the number 21. Okay? The next card after this is the Fool card, which the world sees as 0. Infinite. Infinite. 0 is the God number. That's why you're looking for God. And you're looking in the world, you won't see it. If you don't see God as the whole of a matter. The 0, right? So if you go on forward and you learn this, God shows you this, right? Because when God calls on you, what he says is, the earth is your school. So I'm going to guide you, and I'm going to teach you the ways in which and how I move in the world. And I'm going to show you by miraculous signs and wonders. Okay? And then I'm going to have you focus on what it is that I showed you. I'm going to let you hear how I talk. First, you got to hear me. So I got to teach you how to hear me. Then you got to see me. So I got to teach you how to see me. So when you close your eyes, right, you know exactly who you're talking to. I'm done. See? That's it. 4 of Swords. Quiet. See what happens? See how it's going with the message? God speaking. I said quiet. Still talking. Quiet. Very peaceful. But with authority. And it's quiet. Okay. So with this world, they say the last card is the number 21. But that's a lie. Because the hermit was told by God, right? The secret keeper is God. The secret holder is the high priestess. That's why she's closest to him. That's why the empress is the emperor's counterpart. Okay? So, with that being said, the empress knows 21 is not the last number. There is a number that is more supreme. That is the number 0. 0 is the most powerful number of creation. You know what the Fool card symbolizes? You see the number 0, but you don't learn that you have reached mastery until God tells you what the number on the Fool card really is. You know what the number on the Fool card really is? 22. So the number for mastery of this world is 22. My life path is 22-4. So I'm the Fool for real. If I'm in my soul's calling and my truth, I'm a high priestess with a life path 22-4, who's called to come into this world and challenge its systems. Why things run the way they do. Not only to find out for myself, but to be on the side of those who are asking the questions that want to bring about the progressive change that the world is needing. The world doesn't know the world needs to change, just like the world doesn't know when the world needs God. But God knows the time the world needs him, because God loves his creation, just like a mother loves their child. That's why they call it mother's intuition. So this is why the divine feminine is the divine father's counterpart. And this is why you could call this type of person the divine mother. Father God, Mother Sky. Hey, you never heard that? Father God, Mother Earth. Everybody is not everybody. You can't be all these things in one if you haven't been showed how to get there. And that walk is not following someone else and testing their theories. Each one teach one. They didn't say each one teach one and all fit, one size fits all. Each one teach one means God sends guides to people who want questions the world can't answer for them. Only he can. So I put myself in the gap, in the middle of both of them, by my free will choice. And I say, okay, God, I'll sit here and I'll allow you to guide people to me so I can be the guide back to you. So you can show them what this world can't see. This is why I say you have to have a healthy fear of the Lord, because people be testing theories. Some things you should just believe. But the Bible said they wouldn't, and they do it anyway. And there's been many damnations that have occurred because people not listening to all the signs and the miraculous wonders that just happen when you're talking about a thing. That's what God does. You say something, he show it. For me, since I'm a speaker, it's clairaudiently. So we're sharing my gift. If you feel like God is talking or spirit is working or moving, when you hear my phone go off, based off next to something else, that's how God uses me in this world. In that way, I can speak on protection, and here comes a siren. I can speak on a matter of judgment, here comes an ambulance. So what I'm saying is here, I don't make threats. I state facts that are written. I am protected in what I speak because it is law. God's law. Supreme law. The one that judges man. See? And God says, judge not, or you will be judged by what? The same measure. So the same way in which these motherfuckers measure me up, to set me up, to wet me up, the fuck. So that's why I can say it. With the same intensity, do I take my knowledge and transmute that right into everything I want, which is with the same intensity that they send me the hate, I take that energy, and with that same intention, I consciously, knowing transmutation, because I'm an alchemist, take it, transmute it into love, or I'll take it and transmute it into an abundance of the same intention of love for the highest good of all concerned. I'll take someone who wants to hurt me, and with the same amount of intention of their free will that they choose to use toward me, I take the same in return, and I transmute it with the same energy and the same free will that I have to choose what the fuck I want to do in my life. I flip it by transmuting it into the opposite thing that is wanted from me. So I always get what I want. I don't return to sender. I transmute. I stand in the middle and I see where it's going. And I say, no, it doesn't need to go this way. I don't care where it goes, but get at me, it's not coming this way and passing these gates. Now transmutation takes away from karma because you're changing it to something better. That's your intention. So whether it goes back to them, who cares? I don't give a fuck about what happens to them, because I didn't ask them to care about me and like me. So I don't care where that energy goes. Is that wrong? No. Because with the intention that these people are sending these things to me, they know they're not going to touch me. So who the hell are they really trying to affect? Everything around me. The same people that are being guided to me, it's affecting them too. Now they're switching up and turning up. They're not understanding entity attachments and why they didn't know all these things before. It's crazy how God works. It's crazy how he'll put the answer in your face and you'll still say you don't see why. The world isn't ready for those answers yet. I can see that myself. I'm saying the truth and the bitch is getting mad. That's crazy. Proving every theory. Because man is not ready for the answers in which it seeks. They get upset when they hear the truth. People want the truth, but they really don't want the truth. They think they do. We all think we do. Even I can say that. You think I wanted to see all this shit? Y'all is tired of seeing it. You don't think I'm tired of hearing it? You don't think it's just opening up the wound all over again? About how much God fucking loves me and that's why everybody hates me? We're in a world of fucking false prophets. Waiting on what's already here to come. The realest of us know. But we can't be that. Because we're imperfect. We're perfect when it comes to them. And then you have the worldly view of perfect. What is perfect? Who can judge perfection? The unclean? Or the supreme? Then that gets even... Then they hate that too, because they're not supreme. Like, no way you look at this, everybody has an ego. So you want to know about God? Then you got to go through an ego death. That's when you see God. That's when you learn you're not who you think you are. You don't know what you think you know. Your stance in the world is not what you thought it was. Because we live our lives based on what we feel is right. But that doesn't mean in the grand scheme of the world that it is. It might be right for you and not right for someone else. So is that fair? That's how God's looking at it. Who can live their life so balanced, with so much coming up against them, and still have favor in God's eyes? Who can deal with those closest to them, that God literally put them in their lives, tried to kill them, set them up, fuck them over, pray that they was dead? Who could live through that experience, keep their head on, continue to see why it's happening, continue to stay grateful and blessed for the experience, even though it hurt like fucking hell? I feel so betrayed by man. Man has never done me a service. Not like God has. And I get emotional when I talk about this because all these men out here, it's like, what the fuck? Oh, man. I have never, ever, ever, ever sent anyone anything to harm them. You know why? Because I have a fear of God. Because I know what that book says, and I know what he said, and I know what real justice is. And the only one I fear when it comes to true justice is God. I've seen his wrath firsthand. I've seen it ravage through fucking communities, families, workspaces. It's crazy. So why would I then stand for something and then fall for the okie doke? Why would I play into the narrative of fighting back? See, that's man's world. That's not God's world. God's world, we fight back with love because love overpowers the darkness that is hate. That's what the darkness is. It's hate. Any form of it. For man. But God uses darkness in such a beautiful way, and it's to show us things that the beautiful people in the world can't see. That's why there are gatekeepers. It takes two to make a thing go right. No truer two. The dynamic duo. See the twin flame? See the gatekeeper? See the chosen one? See the earth angel? All in one. High priestess, empress, queen of swords, the sun, the strength, the hermit, the chariot. What the fuck aren't I? Chosen ones were everything. We're everything and nothing all at the same time. Because we know that we're nothing without God. Everything is absolute. It either is or it is up here. Down there, talking about regular everyday worlds, people. Everything is everything. See the difference? Some of these answers aren't going to get answered. I mean, some of these questions won't get answered. But maybe you can understand why we're not afraid. Be not afraid. That's what I just heard. It's not a fear of man that we ain't speaking on certain things. The fears of God and what he said and the responsibility that what comes with favor and grace, there is great wrath and karma. The very same thing we speak on. And you think that we out here doing the same thing against the shit that we are against and still have favor in God's eyes. You see how God placed people next to us, the closest to him, to get the best view of him. And they still couldn't see him. Around us, in the signs. Or they did and they ignored them. The signs would be the intuition that says, probably not a good idea. Maybe you should think, but what if she, those types of questions? That's God talking to you. It's not yourself. I don't even be there. But you think a thing and then you think, well, what if? That's God standing in the gap for me. See? God speaks. Isn't that what I do? Isn't that what I've said? So I'm true to my name. And as this gatekeeper that I am, I know when to pull it in and I know when to roll it out. I know when the time has come for the shift to occur and I know when it's time for the horn to be blown. I know when the world is in need of knowledge and I know when the world is just wanting more power or access to it. So God is doing something in the world where he's going to make his presence and his stance very clear. He's going to show the world why people like me and you are here. And he's going to hope that his children can see how the Father is wanting them to have the same too. Anybody can have a connection with God. It's just like you got to be guided. So the guidance has to be put out there that if I build it, they'll come. Then you just build it and hope they come. And if they are like you, then you shouldn't fear it because God built it and you came. Before you even knew how to find him, he built something for you to stand on. He built something for you to believe in. He set up something for you to see in a certain type of way. So there was a divine building that happened. A foundation before the foundation. Something built something for me to see, something to go to think, oh, let me go to tarot. Not even believing at that point that there was a God per se. I had the same beliefs as everybody else. And that's probably why God had to show me some things. And that, I know there's something higher than me, is what got me to see what was higher than me. God. However that seed was placed in me, I can't explain. But I know it was there. The things that I have created, I don't know how I've done it, but I know I birthed them. Immaculate conception. The things I think about and the dreams that I have, I wake up in the morning and I speak them. So this isn't something studied. The only thing The only study I have done, my mystery school, is God. That's why it's a mystery. There's no location. There's no place. It's a sacred space. That's why the high priestess is a sacred divinity. She don't need to set up an altar where she goes to connect with anything, because the soul and spirit already knows. And God is a soul, spirit, being that can be in many places all at one time. He is Alpha. He is here, there, and everywhere. Always there when you need him. And this comes real true to me when I just ask a question and 2 minutes later I'm guided to go, if I can just scroll through my YouTube and see the answer. That took no time. So why are people praying forever and not getting what they want? Or are they getting what they want and aren't getting it because it looks like what they have been programmed to think something should look like? The problem is the program, not the people. The problem is the program and the ones that run it. And the question is, why do you want so much power? Because the realest of us is out here trying to fucking scream, we wish we didn't have all this power. We have all the power and don't know why. Kaylin, no more. The girls are separated because it's time for bed. And they want to talk. So one's in the couch and one's in the bed. That's why she's out here. She's asking me if she can go back in her room. And no. She's clearly still too wide awake. And Kaylani ain't asleep yet. So no. That would defeat the purpose. Say? And who want to keep running around and running in circles, doing the same thing all night? Say? It's like chain breaking. Just stop it. And that's the thing with theories. Only those that know the truth can solve the theory. They're not conspiracy theories. They're not. That's everything that has been chalked up to a conspiracy theory. Let me tell you something. Even if you guys heard the answer from the truth, you would still doubt its truth because of its source. But the only truth you can find is from source. So are we actually trying to find anything? Are we just trying to put this up against that and make the latter or the greater? What the fuck? Do we even want this? And this is why people give up, because they're not asking the right questions to the right people. I'm sitting here watching that video and it's like, there's just no answer. The whole time I'm like, it's God. It's God. God is the answer. And then how do you explain that? You're not supposed to. But the country and the Constitution and all these bills and all these laws and under gods and fucking things that we have been indoctrinated in since children, literally ritualized, one nation under God, in God we trust on the money. It's kind of weird. The very same thing you believe in is the very same thing you don't believe in. You guys got a love for money. Nasty, disgusting, detestable love for money. And the very same thing, the very same dollars you love, say in God we trust. But then you got God's people walking out here just asking for what's rightfully theirs as their birthright, as it's stamped on every dollar bill that you guys hold back from them. See? So why do you guys get to keep getting richer while my rich get poor? We are not poor. We got rich spirits. But they want rich pockets. They're offering up this for that, this deal for that deal, this bribe for that bribe, this cult for this coven, this gang for this fucking society. It's crazy out here right now. And the average man ain't dealing with the consequences of having to sort through this shit because they don't believe in that stuff. It ain't real. So what the fuck am I? I'm fake. I'm not a person. See? That shows we're not all the same. And that, okay, thank you. And that some people really are chosen for a very great task. And you should just respect what you're being given. And wait. for the rest. All things happen in time. But see now, the world has been so extra hungry on dominating its people that now God is feeling rushed. God has a prophecy. And it seems like people aren't even grateful for the prophecy that's over their life because they're trying to pretty much rush God to give them what they want. And who are you? Under God, one nation. Who the fuck are you? In the grand scheme of it. See? So this high priestess has seen what's been going on in this world, and I have prayed to God many a night, and I have seen many a sunny day the next. And I can sleep good at night because I pray every night. I pray to protect myself, my children, my journey, my path, and all those other things after that I love and care for, which God knows each and every single one of what those things are. So I just leave it at that because God knows my heart. So I'm not going to fine-tune my prayer for a thing to work. God feels what's real. That's what he covers. So I don't have to worry about anything. And I believe in that. And that's the power of the alchemists, believing they are magic. Because when magic is being sent, but magic is not being used, how does one's own magical hands receive what they put out? You can't say someone is sending you magic if they're transmuting yours and yours returns to you. That's not magic, that's alchemy. Two different things. See? The magician is more so the manipulator. Yeah. Because it's manipulation of energy. It's sending your energy attached to an intention to a person with an intention to have a purpose for the person. It's very intentional. The target is set. The intention is there. The act is the work. Okay. So they now just sacrifice themselves. Because God is going to say, they didn't ask for that. My child? Oh no, child, don't even worry about it. That's not coming to you. But karma and judgment is going right to them. So that's ultimately me always saying I'm making the right choice. Because in a moment, when you're being attacked, most people fight back. Or in a moment where man feels attacked, feels, not know, feels. They're very quick to assume that someone is doing something they're not because it looks away. Because it can present quite naturally, like it's happening. But then I'm smarter than the average dummy. And I can prove that theory wrong too, just by doing what I just did. That's why you won't hear me out here. False prophecy and things I haven't been given the green light from God to go ahead and do. That's why I'm still sitting here. Yeah? I don't fear speaking. I fear God. And if I don't speak, there's karma for that too. So heavy is the head. That's my job here, to speak. That's why I'm the emperor too. That's why I can be the emperor, high priestess, and the hermit all at the same time. I'm the guide, the priestess, and the one taking the action. I've been given an assignment, judgment. That's why I am judgment. So I know why I say what I say. And everything that I have said, it's getting kind of scary because everything is coming to pass. I've only said what I said because God told me to. So God is real. And it's kind of like poking the lion or poking the bear. Like, God has a very, very gracious. Oh, God is beautiful. God is so loving, so understanding. He created us to have all these emotions, so he understands them. There's no explaining it. We all agree God created us. Well, no, we don't. We know that. But most of us who believe in God believe He's our creator. So, and it also goes to the commandments, because it goes from the macro to the micro and then back out again to the macro. So it goes from the all to the self, and from the self to the highest good. Right? So generational curse breakers. God called you to break the curses. So that looks like having mothers and fathers. And then that looks like children with mother and father wounding. And it looks like we are the ones to not hate our parents, but heal ourselves. And then what? Go back to our family and heal them through our knowledge. What is it? Honor your parents? That's how you do that. You see? We're following the law that was written. So, I don't know. This isn't fake. Spirituality is the realest connection you will have to God. It's the only connection. You're not going to have this depth of understanding of God through religion, because that's where man has manipulated the outcome. That's why there's religion and spirituality. Because one group believe that God is not man, that we have to look outside of ourselves and believe that something we can't see is what's running everything. Because they're not showing us in the ways of which spirituality brings the macro to the micro, and then asks them how to see it. Religion just brings the macro to the micro and says, now believe that. And that's why there's so many people that are religious that are mad at us too, because they've been out here false prophesying, not really believers, because what are you believing in? You're waiting your whole life praying, looking up to the sky, nothing's happening. God's a liar. Well, you missed half of the process. You don't just get to talk to fucking God. You can't claim to know God then question Him. That's why God says, know thyself. And when you hear me, you'll know me. See? All of these things get measured up with God and ourselves. All the questions that I have ever needed answered with truth and clarity, I went to God when there was people right in front of my face. Right in front of my face, literally every day, that could chime in and instead of hate, say something positive. See, we all got free will choice. It's my free will choice to give a motherfucker what they give me and not give a fuck. That's balanced to me. You don't care, so why do I? But then God says that's not how we do this. You still wish them love. You still keep talking. You still keep loving. I tell you when to stop. I tell you when to go. I tell you when it's time for war. I tell you when it's time for peace. I tell you when it's time for division. And I tell you when it's time for unity. I tell you when it's time to divide and separate. And I tell you when it's time to come together and build. A lot of things are happening, and a lot of people are getting what they need, and a lot of people are being starved as well. Because God is in control of what's happening in this world. From the upper, the Epstein, the industries, to the lower. God is running this world, not girls, gods. And that's why the world's been done a disservice. Because from the top of the top, they've been lying. And they're making money for it. Formation, get in formation. Ring the alarm. I'm doing these messages here in judgment. I hear ring the alarm. I'm hearing the messages. It's judgment. The siren's going by. Ring the alarm. So who am I ringing the alarm to that's not understanding something? when I know the signs of these people that these songs come from, why am I channeling that song when I'm talking about the industry? When I'm talking about watchers? People always think I'm watching. No, I just get guided in. God just one day take me from here doing this and say, hey, go in the hermit mode real quick. Isolate. We got to do something else. I need you somewhere else. I need to use you in a different way. It's not a shapeshifter. It's God moving. It's people praying. Everybody don't got the same prayer. Somebody in the industry's prayer is different than somebody who's not in the industry. Motherfucker, praying from freedom, praying for freedom from bondage, from a false principality, is a lot deeper than a motherfucker praying for a car. So the motherfucker praying for the car can wait. The world can wait, you see? There's other pressing matters at hand. Because normally that entertainer that is calling out to God for redemption, forgiveness, didn't realize. They was unaware. But they're still chosen. And the call to God is the sign from God that the earth angel is ready to go in. We got another one. Go ahead. Gather the flock. Warning. Siren. Judgment. I'm calling you, my child. Tune out the outside noise. I need to use you for your purpose. No matter what you're doing, no matter what time of the day, I need you because someone is crying out. Someone needs God. You know, when people cry to God, they call him in their most stressing, pressing, life-altering, world-shattering moments. That's when everybody knows who God is. When they need something that their heart can feel. So he sends the earth angel. See? And what am I supposed to do? When the reason she's out there is to go to sleep, and the direct reason I'm ignoring her is because she's talking. How would you handle that? Would you yell? Or would you ignore? Because I hear her, and I'm not ignoring her, because I asked her already, no, be quiet. And she's still calling me. And she doesn't need anything. She has all she needs. You see, that could be a prayer too. Say, so is it an urge that I go and see that she want to tell me what she already yelled through the door? Or do I just sit here and show her that you don't run me? What boundary do I set? Am I a bad parent for being the authority? I said no. See how it got quiet? Children have to learn too. Say, you want to teach your children very young the ways in which God works. Because they will be God-fearing too. When you know how God has worked, you know why you should fear him. And a lot of people that were asking that question about why should we fear something that we can't see, or why should we fear what created us, that doesn't make sense. Well, that's just ignorant as a whole theory, because it created you should be good enough. I don't have the right to question or judge what created me. Now I can feel like something, but I still don't have the right. It still made me. I'm still here. So in that same way, I have to fix it so I can identify with where the problem came in and fix the problem so it doesn't happen again. That's how you break the generational curse. And when dealing with children, when you have different people around them that don't hold the same morals, values, and ethics and live by the same codes, children tend to switch up to the environment. And while I got my kids back, I realized the environment doesn't seem to be very conducive to their growth. So it seems like we're starting back at zero, the beginning. So everything has its time, in rhyme, in reason, season. So right now, it might be the time of, chaos for some. Shit, I go through it. Chaos is when everything is happening at one time and it's a lot going on and a lot of different things going on and a lot involved, a lot of people, a lot of different factors at play. That's chaos. Chaos doesn't always have to be bad. See? Chaos can be productive if understood that, hey, I need to take a break and see something better, see a different way. So for those of you guys who are on this journey and you feel like people are testing your gangster, they are. But stay strong in the knowing that you're the gatekeeper. They're coming to you because they know that you access the wisdom they're looking for. But we didn't get this access for free. We went through a whole lot, for sure, and we still ain't got paid for it. Even though we did everything by the book, literally, everything by the book that promised us that we was going to get our shit back for doing it. And so here's the thing. God said what he said. He's coming. And we're getting our shit back. So those who are trying to gatekeep, the gatekeepers that can't really do the thing, they are going to have to be moved. And that's why we step up and in the gap. And we move them with love. We just outshine them. We just come up in numbers. We just take over in terms of the negativity. We outshine it. We create more light than dark. We make it so that it's beyond a reasonable doubt. You can see a lot more now than you could before. I remember just a couple years ago, 20 years ago, a couple years ago when things weren't just so out there openly, blatantly available to see. There was some type of unknown out there. Now, if you look hard enough, the answer's right in your face. We talk about karma and a motherfucker catch it right next day. Before, it seemed like it took so long for karma. We was waiting lifetimes to motherfuckers receiving their karma for the hurts and all the things that they did. And then what changed? We stopped waiting, because what did God say? Vengeance is mine. And then we started seeing it more, because we had the faith with the fear. I'm not going against that. If it's yours, it's not mine. You give me what's mine to hold. If you don't give it to me, it's not mine. I'm not going to take on more than I asked for. I already got enough. So I just sit here and I wait for God to give me what he needs, which is what you need. So, hopefully this explained a little bit about where my knowledge comes from. God. I said that and I'll say it till I'm dead, because what else am I supposed to say? I don't steal from anybody. That would be blasphemous. And the karma that comes for being karma and manipulating it is a lot. It's pretty much tied into these motherfuckers and the karma that they're getting right now for trying it. So whoever want to keep trying the theory, I guess so. But God is saying if you want to see a resolve to the chaos in the world, you'll leave well enough alone. You'll stop trying to block those that are here to bring what the world needs. Who do they think they are? Gods. Not gods and goddesses. Gods. Men and women. Pretty much Jesus in the flesh. For people to understand. The messiahs. The light. The true sons are the starseeds. Okay? So have a good night. I just told them, everybody. I just told them who we are, what we're here for, and what we're not here for. We're here to give the people what they need. Literally exactly what they prayed for. Not what they asked for. Prayers don't come out of the mouth. They come from the heart. A motherfucker can say, I want this, but be afraid of it in their heart for real. You gotta know that God does not speak to the fucking egos of man. He will quite literally, with karma, show you just that. God will put every fucking theory that you ever had, and he'll show you what it is and what it ain't at the same time. And you'll learn either way. One, not to question him again. And two, now you'll just know how to do the right thing accordingly. Move accordingly. You move by the calling, with the calling. You move with the purpose, for the purpose. You move with the mission, for the mission. So you see, there's nothing separate. That's why I'm the 22-4. Here, challenging everything that's coming up against my system, which is God's system that he has in place and has had in place to run the way he created it to run. Not the way religion and man and science and physics and astrologies and all these other things want to calculate God to be. Alpha and Omega means there is no ending. Christ consciousness states with the zero, right? No beginning and no end. If you ever find the end of God, shit, man, let me know. Let me know how that go. The end of God is the end of you. Because you'd have to kill God to see the end of him. Can you see him? Do you know where he resides? Or does he preside? There's a difference. Okay? So God is over us for a reason. And we should not try to bring him down to our level. Respect where you are, respectfully. Don't ask for things that you ain't ready to see. Because the thing with God is you think he knows. So you think that you can do this, and I'm going to show you why you can't. Matched up with the same energy. I don't know why I can't hurt her. Okay. All right. And then God will show you why. By hurting something that you don't care about, supposedly. I don't care if I take her out with this ritual when God defames and hates and curses for all damnation the sorcerers and the warlocks. And the diviners. That's why I don't like that word, because it's a manipulation. It's an oxymoron. Divination. Then you go into scrying. Then you go into looking at things. And then that becomes something very different. That's why people ain't really real. They're still playing on the spiritual seesaw. Because all that shit is stupid. Because God is all. So why do you need a scrying mirror? Why do you need a crystal ball? Now you're not believing God. And that's why a lot of these motherfuckers are seeing wrong things in these tools. And that's why I said specifically, get rid of the tools. Because the bitches that use the tools, it would behoove them to not use them in this time. Because you're not now you have no gifts. This is judgment. This is judgment. And the warlocks and the witches that are already in the Bible for using the sorcerer's tools are wondering why they're losing whatever gift they had to connect to spirit. That's the only gift these people have at this point. They can connect. But that connection, the only reason you have that is because it was destined for you to meet an angel to connect you to its source. God didn't give us gift of the soul and spirit to hurt another soul and spirit. So you see how one is one and one is clearly the other? That's how I can take down a coven of fucking weirdos, because they're like one. They're like one person. But I talk about it, and a whole fucking nation is affected by it, or I talk about the energy, and certain big people fall under that same category as being the sorcerers that God hates. So people that are in power are people that God would never seat there. And it shows in the ways in which these people in power get in power, even with all the fucked up shit they got going on in their life, in their personal life, that's made public, and they still get to be president. See? You think God would allow that? You think God thinks that's fair and just? That the people in power are in power? Given the nature of the details that we know and secrets that these people hold, that they themselves know we ain't telling because it's nobody's business, because we have boundaries, and that's not what we're here for. Everybody got fucking secrets. Hello? Obviously. Because everybody's business ain't everybody else's. The fuck? So we ain't on here to fucking bring out people's fucking dirty laundry, but that's justice. We're out here bringing the truth, and you're calling it trash, right? So at the same extent that you judge us as trash and non-deserving, does God not give us the right to then read you for filth? See? God speaks to me and through me the way I speak to you. That's also the miraculous sign and wonder that you guys should be seeing. God wouldn't talk like that, bitch. No, God doesn't talk. We hear him. So God sounds like we do. God speaks to us, and we talk to you. However we interpret what he said is what we say. So, that is how a ghetto biddy can really be talking to God. I don't know why they be thinking I'm the farthest thing away from the holiest thing they have ever looked at. But they always seem to see it every time they fuck me over or hurt somebody I love. Every time somebody around me gets hurt, it's because of the actions of somebody else. And that's for real. People want to play with me and what I love. And then they fucking sacrifice and put up themselves and everything they claim to love. But I'm going to go hard for mine. See? And knowing I got God behind me, I ain't worried about what I'm not worried about what man is worried about. That's a manly experience. And at the end of the day, I'm a woman, so I triple don't care. But, you know, it is what it is. And I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And I'm going to leave up out this world naturally. So I'm just saying, no one will ever be able to say I died at the hands of some fucking death magic. Sorry, bitches. Ain't happening. And if I did, I'd probably come back and haunt you. Because that would still be justice. See? So I don't think you want me going out the way you trying to make me go out. In all these brutal ways. It's not safe. Because you can want that. And I can get a little sick. I can have a little sickness. My stomach can hurt. Bitch is doing all this work and the bitch's stomach just hurt. She just can't eat for 2 days. So I lose 10 pounds. Did I lose anything? No, I actually gained. See how God be fucking the true trickster spirit? See? I remember someone once said, you have all the answers. I mean, yeah, I guess. When I need them. But I don't know that. Until I fucking open my mouth, clearly. And I'm still shocking myself. So where this gift stops? Oh, fuck, Lord. God, where does it stop? This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. That means it don't stop. And it won't stop. No, no, no. Thought I told you time and time again, this shit won't stop. You see? I'm inspired by God to be creative and happy and passionate about what I love. That passion for what I love goes from the macro to the micro and back out to all that need it. Everything I do is with love because I know the intentions of my heart or God wouldn't be using me. I'm a system breaker. Anything that's fucked up around me, I'ma feel off. It's in my DNA. That's why every time I go through an activation and an ascension, somebody else gets caught out here slipping. Just accidentally, because I didn't know. Oh shit, what the fuck? I mean, I'm going with my process. And it's getting kind of weird to see my process coincides with other people's experiences. And seeing that, that's why I sit the way I do. Because I'm starting to see the choices I make. From a small scale to a fucking grand scale. Maybe because, I don't know. I can't just be out here doing what everybody else does. Because if I did, oh my God, the world would be terrible. It's already catastrophic. It would just be chaos and envy everywhere, times a million, because my power is much stronger than these bitches. So, I'm trying to explain something that can't be explained with giving enough and not giving too much. But if you really want to know how God uses me, that's how. For everything. I don't even know what else. I don't know what he doesn't use me for and what he does use me for. Because it seems like he uses me for everything. But I'm a master at this. So I guess I'm still mastering that mastery. I don't have all the answers. But I feel safe in knowing that whatever I am learning, I'm sharing. And that's what makes me so emotional. Because I don't even know if that's my emotion or God's emotion. Because I don't know y'all. But I feel so blessed to be able to give y'all this, to be able to be the one that has this to give you, and that you receive it. Because I have had so much to give my whole life, and no one wanted it. And this is a very humbling, beautiful, heartbreaking, healing experience. To see something so clearly that it hurts, but so clearly that it breaks down, yet so clearly that it heals me from the very same thing that made me go through it. So this is why I hold no hate and resentment in my heart, because there was a time I wasn't who I was, and I saw what that got me, and that wasn't good. When I was acting that way, it was only hurting me. So I learned karma real fast. So that's why I come on here and I see what happens when I say a thing. Like I'll say, I'm never gonna. All of my siblings had their children taken. I was the only one that got theirs back. So was there a generational curse placed on my bloodline? Placed on my mother's womb? Placed on my womb? Placed on my kids? Hey, probably. See? So this is generational. So it was bound to happen. It was bound to be there until I saw it. And now that it's there, it will never be happening again. So did I break the curse for my situation? Yeah. That's why I'm so proud. Because no one else did it. They're gone. They can't even fight. The other one, she don't look like she fucking very much here so right now either. So I'm just waiting for that day. As bad as it sounds. And that's a fucking fucked up thing to say. And not even because she ain't been doing right by me. And I've done nothing but right by her. But done nothing but be her big sister. Be there when she needs me. Give her what she needs and I can provide it. I've done my thing. I've done my job. And everything in my life, I've done my job. So maybe that's why I'm so calm right now. When I know so many people are not. Because there's nothing else I can do. I can't help people from their own choices. I learned that the hard way. People make choices for us. And they don't even realize what they sacrifice. See? And then we got to be the ones to bring it all in and make it all right and make a thing new again. I'm not talking about Trump's version because he ain't doing that. We know he ain't doing the work. Well, we know he's doing the work, but it ain't the right work. He's doing all the wrong works with his hands. And that's another thing. That's why everybody's going to catch it because everybody voted this man in. This wasn't a thing where he just got dropped there out the sky. He was called on. He was called for to do a job. But this is the same man that's talking about as he's going through all this shit, God and coming to God moments. And then at the same time, in interviews, bashing the Awakening Collective, calling it a fad. So he's hypocritical in his words. He's double-minded right there in his thoughts. So what do you think his actions are? Thoughts become words. And then words in movement, that's action. That's spell work. That's spell work. See? Was there a candle involved? Everything is based on what you believe in and how hard you believe it. And by that same extent of belief, that's what governs you. Everybody is self-governing. If you believe in yourself, then you're going to live in a way that shows that. It's very simple. You're going to act differently. You're not going to accept different things. You're going to change because you're going to see, I want something, but I'm not getting it because I'm doing the opposite thing. This is counterproductive. I'm not going anywhere. See? So a lot has to shift to understand this reality of being here, there, and everywhere, and nowhere all at the same time. It's very, very weird. But it's very, very comforting. I don't even be seeing in the spirit like these motherfuckers do. That's the crazy part. These people be saying like, oh, I see you in the spirit, and I see you warring and battling, and I see you with wings, and I see you on a horse, and I see you in this form, and in this light, and in this version. So I guess I am a shapeshifter. But when I close my eyes, all I see is black. Most nights I don't dream. I don't see figures and people. But I fucking know that I ain't sleep because my brain is still there. And my brain knows that I'm channeling when I should be sleeping. So that's how I know I don't really be sleeping. My eyes be closed. But even in my sleep, I'm aware of something. Now, if I'm not aware, well, then I just can't help a thing, can I? And that's why it's so important for me to stay up on my spiritual hygiene. It's very important that I see what needs to be seen. Not just for myself. I save people. I have to just be at the right place at the right time. I say it myself how God works. I gotta be where I gotta be on time. That's why I don't have time for things that are gonna slow me down. Because I'm not moving on my time. I can't be like, God, hold on. No, it don't work that way. So if I gotta stop something I'm doing in an instant because God is calling me, I'm gonna stop. If that is, you are becoming an obstacle on my child's path because you're blocking her vision, son. See? So son, I gotta move you. I don't want to do it, but she's right here, and if you wanted to change to move with her, you would. So I see that you're not ready for the job. So I'm moving you, and it's final. That's God. And when that message comes, I'm out already. I'm already gone. Because God will come to me when I go to him like, God, can I trust this person? And this is after getting readings where all they spew is confusion. I go to God. I take it back to God every time. And I ask God, the message in this, is it about this person? Quite bluntly, I need to fucking know. God, can I trust this person? And God will say yes or no. And clearly, depending on who's around me, we see what I do when he says no. So, this is why I can say I'm protected, because I'm following the protection. You know, when my kids were gone, we had to do something called a safety plan. And in case, that's crazy, right? In case those that hurt them before, oh God, should try to come back and hurt them again, there's a protection in place, right? Great. Because these motherfuckers ain't showing up. They wasn't showing up anyways. So that helps me. But it does. It does. But, you know, same thing. Motherfuckers get out of jail. Come to the house and tell me. They're out. Okay. You got that restraining order, right? Yeah. Okay, you're good. Then I read that order that says there should be no contact this way, this way, this way, that way, this way, all the different ways. And then I come on my platform and I have people trying to intimidate me, trying to intimidate my children, trying to create a hostile situation that only I can see, drive me absolutely fucking insane because they know they're not supposed to be talking to me. So nobody around me likes the word no. See, these motherfuckers can't touch me for real. So they want to touch me in the spirit. They want to abuse me that way. Then they want to do it to the kids that way. And God has all these bases covered. So you think if I got a restraining order in the physical, that one hasn't already been set up before that in the spirit? And how many times do you think God is going to allow a motherfucker to cross a spiritual restraining order and a no contact before he showed what that no contact was there for? See? People don't understand protections. I do. See? The motherfucker that has to get a restraining order because they can't control themselves enough to not do it at all, that's a protection for you to not get you in further trouble. So you want to manipulate a system and try to go around the back door and do what the fuck you did, right? Which is what you wasn't supposed to do from jump, that you learned from the first time. Touch not my anointed and do no harm to the prophet. These motherfuckers want to come along and get us pregnant and do us dirty and leave us. He said, touch not my anointed. So you started from jump wrong. You did yourself a disservice just doing the act that is so beautiful to God, because he called us to multiply. But then by doing the things that you did, you should have just never touched the thing anyway. If you couldn't handle it, you should have never thought that you could. So there's these types of things where it goes to the root of a thing. And if you can't understand it on a core level, then you're never going to see the truth. You got to really read that Bible with the experience that you're living in right now, not what you were taught to read it for at church when you was a kid. Take your Bibles, just open it up. Trust God. Just open it up. Wherever you feel called, just open it up. You see how I just be taking it and just open it up. Just like these cards. Trust God. Right? It's like when I take these cards and I say, trust God. What's on the other side? Who knows? Don't matter. Are you listening? Are you learning? Are you seeing what she's putting down? Trust God. Take that book. Open it up. Whatever you see, it's fact. Match it up with your experience. See, you're being offered. Don't deny the offer. Okay? That's all you need to do. Trust yourself. Because God is in you. And you'll know him by how he feels. Just like all the times you got goosebumps through this message. That was God, not me. Because I got them too. See? God is real. And he works through people. He uses people just like that. Signs and wonders show us all how we're so connected to him. And why that too should be a sign of why we should fear him. Because he loves his creation. He wants the best for his creation. He wants what he wants. He's not a manipulator. God don't lie. And that's why when he promises us a thing, and we see people fighting the promise, oh man, we start to get scary for them. We start to back off. We kind of want to be like, well, I'm just going to fade to black because, I'm just, I know. I don't want to be a part of that party. 3 cups in reverse celebrating something that bitch you thought you won. Say? People need to stop getting ahead of themselves, thinking they know more than the next. Thinking you got to look away to hold a certain thing, to know a certain thing, to be a certain way, that you have to be copied. Ain't nobody like me. I am for real a trailblazer. I am the most trailblazingest of trailblazers you will ever see trailblazing. I'm going to come out with something new. Because I came on with, see what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. And here we go, doing it, true to it. Do what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. And of course, what would happen? They would say the opposite. Say? Don't they do everything I say? Say? No ego here, but I could have some. So who was God to them? Still, worshiping and idolizing a false master. See? Because I'm God to you because you look up to me. You idolize me. You envy me. But you don't know me. You don't come to me for me. You come to me for God, right? So that must mean I'm bringing you to him. And then I'm done with you. My job is done. That's the problem. I have one job. You to come to me, to go to him. And I'm out the picture. Unless you keep me here. Now I'm in your shit. I don't want to be. That's more than I'm supposed to do. You wanted the answers, I give them to you. And then if there's still something you don't understand, you take that non-understanding ass of yours to prayer. Not against me because I didn't give you what you wanted. Maybe you're not ready for what you think you are ready for. Clearly with that mindset, I give you what God wants you to have at the time God says is appropriate. I work in accordance with the will of God. Not above it, below it, around it, with it. It is my counterpart. On a core soul truth, I do not move until the King tells me to. The King of Kings. See? So, when I be talking to all y'all kings out here, and I be trying to tell you how beautiful you are, and it's true, because you rock with me and I fuck with you, that's how I know we on the same type time. When I do the Divine Masculine messages and I see from the men that I don't try to ignore, but don't really get, anything good from, because the men is a lot of the ones talking shit and talking about something important, and they want to talk about fucking my body and bending over and show me you're this and do all these things like weirdos. That's the men I get. But that's like in real life too. Just fucking creeps. What? Just fucking weirdos. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I attract both. I am the light. So that's another thing that's hard. Being it. I can't turn it off. It is me. No matter where I go. If I don't say nothing, it's just like not there. Like I don't know. How do you see something like that? Something that you know is supposed to be. I just live my life in the way that I know that I pray and God comes. There's no one that sends God to me. There's no intercessor. There's no one in between. I can talk to God, be like, God, what's up with it? And God be like, not much, what's up with you? Like, just like that. Okay, I guess there's nothing going on. We cool. Everything's good over here. I mean, I'm fine. See? So, I don't know. We cool though. Okay? We like this. We tight. But that was worked on. And I done yelled and I done argued and I done fought and I done cussed him out. And he still loves me. Yeah. I'm still not a perfect child, but he doesn't ask me to be perfect. He said, come as you are. So that's the difference between me and them. I would never do the things that they speak upon me in hopes that I'll do it back to them. I would never do that because I know what they want. They want all the bad karma. They want me to get all the things. They want me to lose my gifts. And they want God to curse me. They want me out the way for exposing them. Yeah, they're a small fry. You know how many motherfuckers want me out the way for more and for less than that? Bitch, I ain't got time for you. You a small fry. For real. Like these people be... the world does not revolve around you. You are not the one that has been prayed for and asked to come, been waited on to come for generation after generation after generation. It is not you they was calling for. You are not the people's champ. So you can't say the champ is here. You are not the sun. So you can't say you're the true light. You can say you're a light. Yeah, you might be, but you're not a light bright like my daughter said I was. See? I'm just telling you, there's different types of lights. There's just lights and then there's light bright. Seems like a light bright is brighter than a light. So I don't know why she told me that, but thank you, baby. See? Now I'll internalize that and see that there was a message from God in that. Like the star card. When he taught me about the star card. Don't ever get caught up in the star card. Don't over-fictionalize the star card. It's not about fame and fortune. Do you see anything on that card that indicates fame and fortune? There's a naked body in the water. Where do we get pentacles from with that card? Just like the 10 of Pentacles is money falling out the sky. In my life, I ain't never seen it. So all of these things and people just don't understand what they're doing. They're distorting their own reality. They're thinking they're going to be fucking famous for defaming one of the most acclaimed mediums that there will ever be. I'm just saying. I'm just, I'm boosting myself up because I ain't never seen nobody like me. These motherfuckers been doing this longer than me, and they still can't do what I do with such accuracy and in the amount of time that I do it. God said, I'm going to teach you how to work smarter and not harder. I'm going to teach you how to do more things at one time. I'm going to teach you how to make it all work all right. And I'm going to teach you how you can fix everything you thought was unfixable. And that's where I got the impossible is really possible. Because even if you look at its spelling, what the fuck are we telling ourselves? Does it not say I am, though? So, again, when you're ready to understand how God works, you'll understand. And when you too become the gatekeeper of God's knowledge, He will tell you and you will understand why He says, be careful how you hold the sword. Be careful how you wield the power, is what He's saying. Because truth is a double-edged sword. So as I said, you want it, and as long as you want to use it for good, you won't hurt yourself. See? But when it goes in reverse, let's just say you forming that tool and you ain't holding it sturdy enough. Who the fuck is it falling on? Who does it fall back on? You. So be careful out there what you're praying for, what you're wanting, what you're putting all your intention into. Because right now in these times that we are in, it's getting very, very crucial for people to understand. We are in the times of the Bible. We are there. We are putting the devil away for a time. Literally. All the devils in all the places. The industry, fucking whatever the fuck. There's more to life than that. But starting there, it's a good place to stop. And I love that it's all syncing up like we said. Diddy got what he got. And as soon as that was done, I said, yo, you know who's next, right? I said it. And here we are. Here we are. We all talking about it. And you know what's crazy? The reason why it's coming out more and more, like now they're saying his name. He's not just the King of Wands in reverse anymore. And Beyonce is not just the karmic couple anymore. Why? The killer couple, the killer karmic couple, the karmic killers. Is it making sense now? We've been talking about them for a good 5 years, who these killer karmic couples are. And we thought it was the motherfuckers that was trying to kill us, but I guess they want to kill us too. But I mean, you see why? When you hear names like Rockefeller, and then Rockefeller, and then Epstein, and Trump, all in the same dynamic. Do you see why we need to change another god? Okay. Good night. Ponder on that one.